Check out this smile. What a happy guy, and sharp fashion sense as well in that sweater. It's a beautiful day outside here in Edmonton, and welcome to a brand new show. We are on location at the Animal Care and Control Center, also attached to the Edmonton Humane Society, and they currently have a lot of animals in care right now, over 150 on site here that have been surrendered from evacuees who need someone to temporarily take care of their animals, whether they're in a hotel trying to figure out their next step. If they need to go get a warm shower, a hot meal, they can drop off their animals and be reunited with them shortly. We're going to learn about what's been going on with this organization since the fires in Fort McMurray on today's show. We're also going to speak with a volunteer and someone who is reunited with their own pet, a very heartwarming story coming up later in the show. So stick around for all of that. But up first, Shawn TV's Jen McDonald takes us back in time on an epic romantic journey. Oh, this vocal, beautiful girl is Holly, so white and fluffy, and I hear her owners were very happy to come by and spend a couple hours with her yesterday. And we're going to have a very heartwarming story with another owner later in the show, and she's hanging out with Laura, a volunteer here at the Animal Care and Control Center. Well, stay tuned for that interview coming up later, but first, Shaw TV's Doug Roxburgh learns about a local company who's helping putting people back to work right away when they've lost their job in Fort McMurray. We are now joined by Tanya Loughran with the Animal Care and Control Center here just outside the Edmonton Humane Society. And we're talking about what the last week and a bit have been like for you guys. You have been a glorified daycare in a sense.
Yes.
Can you explain your role with the evacuation process?
Sure. So glorified daycare, but also veterinarian care, grooming, all kinds of things we do here. But we've played two very important roles with the Fort McMurray wildfire evacuees. So we've had two locations. We've had one at Northlands Expo Center where we are providing temporary care 3 to 4 hours while evacuees go in, have showers, get food, get registered. We take their animals, put them in some kennels, we walk them. There is animal tech and vet on site, so they're there to check the stress levels, make sure that the animals are okay. And then we have a secondary site here back at our facility, and what we do here is it's a little bit longer care. So people that don't have a place to lay their head yet where they can bring animals, so they're in hotels or they're in houses with allergies and things like that. So they haven't quite figured out a home for their whole entire family yet. So we take them back here and we care for them here.
For those who have left Fort McMurray and they're worried about a missing pet, I'm sure you're getting calls about this type of thing.
Yeah.
How are you directing people and giving them advice for animals that are lost?
Okay, so one of our great partners is the Alberta SPCA, and they've been heading up the task of lost, stray, and abandoned animals that have been left behind. Abandoned animal isn't the right word because these owners love them and they had no choice but to leave them behind. But they have been heading up the task force up there with all the medical and the SPCA up there of reining in the animals, getting them into temporary care, medical assistance if they need. These are the animals that are going to be affected more by the fire than what we have seen. So people need to register with the Alberta SPCA on their website and make sure that you tell them that your animal is up there, it's in a house, it's the last time you saw it, those types of things. If you get registered there, as soon as your animal comes in or an animal that looks like it, they will be able to contact you and lead you into being reunited.
Tanya, thank you so much for your time. Stay tuned. More coming up after the break. Well, this shivering little ball of fur is Sandy. He's not sure he wants to go for a walk right now, but he is joined by Lorraine, one of the volunteers at the Animal Care and Control Center, and that's where we are if you're just tuning in now. They've been taking in so many animals from the Fort McMurray evacuees over the last couple of weeks, and like a temporary daycare so that the owners are able to go shower, get a hot meal, get some time away, some space. Perhaps if the animal isn't allowed at the hotel, they will be housed here for a few days and then collected once they're able to do that. But we're going to be chatting with Lorraine and Sandy in just a moment here. She's been volunteering for a while and just loves animals and wants to encourage you, if you have any spare time, to donate some of your time to this organization, as they are looking for help at the moment. So stay tuned for Lorraine's interview. But coming up next, we are headed to Sir Winston Churchill Square, where motorcyclists are gathering for the resounding message of keeping the roads safe. Take a look. This guy's name is, believe it or not, My Dog. I think he spells one of the bigger bully breeds on me. He's a little scared of me. Hey, pup. Hey, come here. Hey. Okay, and maybe a little bit camera shy. I think Ray on camera is intimidating him a little bit. But we're going to be speaking with Lorraine, one of the volunteers here at the Animal Care and Control Center, in just a moment. But first, Shot TV's Jordan Hertner gets to know one of the familiar faces in our local sports community. Take a look. We are now here with Lorraine McLeod-Smilanich. We have some activity in the background, some dogs who are just deciding whether they're going to be friends or not. But we are joined by Sandy as well, a little chihuahua that you've been taking care of. Lorraine, first off, tell me why you started volunteering here at the Animal Care Control Center.
Oh, I've always loved animals. My children growing up had everything you can imagine, snakes, guinea pig, hamsters, dogs, cats, and my husband and I travel in the winter, so we can't have a pet. It's not really fair. So coming to the shelter gives me my dog and cat fix, and so it serves two purposes.
Very nice. And because of the fires in Fort McMurray, they've been looking for more volunteers like yourself. What has that overwhelming feeling been like with the need for animals right now?
Oh, it's amazing. There's so many animals in the shelter, and really hard on the animals and the owners to be separated from them. Like, they're frightened. So whenever we can spend time with them, and like Sandy, all he wants to be, done is to hold him and keep him warm. He barely wants to get down to the ground. So I think all the volunteers have just been wonderful and handling every size of dog and cat. And
we're not able to take the camera inside right now, but can you paint us a picture of what the inside of the center is like with all these extra animals at the moment?
Well, they're very well organized. The shelter is spotless. The people that work here are amazing. They're so kind and gentle to the animals. So there's just rows of cages with animals, and some are quite comfortable, some are really nervous. So we need a lot of volunteers to come and help out.
Well, Lorraine, thank you so much for speaking with us, and thanks for hanging out, Sandy. Look at him shiver. Oh no. Okay, we're going to take a quick break on Go. We'll be right back. Yeah, movie star in the making. Hey? Oh, look at this happy fellow. 3 people giving him rubs at the same time. Now that is a content dog. Welcome back to the show. If you're just tuning in now, we're once again on location at the Animal Care and Control Center in the north side of Edmonton, also attached to the Edmonton Humane Society. And this lady in the gray, Melissa, give us a wave. That's Melissa Barron with her husband Nick, petting their newfound friend. Now they're not taking him home. This is not their dog, but Melissa actually has a story to share with us where she was reunited with her own cat thanks to the SPCA and some hard efforts with the Wood Buffalo Region Fire Department. So stay tuned. She's going to share her heartwarming story with you coming up. It's all about animal love on today's show. But up next, Shot TV's Bianca Jade takes us behind the scenes at Shot TV and lets you know how we inspire, train, and treat our budding broadcasters here in the Capital Region. And now for another one of our Mayor's Award nominees. Well, one of the most important parts about this job that's being done here across the city, actually, with animals being reunited with their owners, is when you actually get to see that moment. And I'm joined by Melissa Barron. Melissa, talk a little bit about what happened with you and your cat.
Okay. Well, my cat's name is Divine, and we had actually left on a little trip from Fort McMurray to Edmonton, and we left on Sunday. When we left, there was no fires, nothing going on, and of course, after Tuesday, it got really bad. So we were in peril, trying to figure out what to do, trying to get our cat home somehow or make sure she was safe. So first thing we did is we filled out the form, the region municipality form, to have her rescued. And then on Saturday, we received a call from a bylaw officer saying he was at our house. So we told him what our cat looked like, where to find everything, and he was able to get inside our home, get her safely, let us know he got her safely, and that we would be in contact with the Alberta SPCA.
So how did that feel, first of all, that you found out she was okay?
That was such a tremendous relief. Like, I'm getting a little choked up now, but it was the call we've been waiting for all week. Yeah. Nothing else mattered other than her safety.
Oh, babe. When you got to go pick her up at the SPCA and finally be reunited with your cat, what was the setting like? Because they had a special room set up for you, right?
They did, yes. They actually had an amazing setup. They checked our ID and they made sure that they were going to give us the right animal. And then they put my husband and I in a room to give us some time with her and, reunite, hold her, cry.
What was her reaction?
She was pretty confused, I think. She was in a room she had never seen before. But once I picked her up and held her, she didn't even try and get away from me. She just stayed there.
Cat sticking around for love. When does that happen?
That honestly doesn't happen often. So it was such a special moment for my husband and I to be able to just have her back and just hold her. And
what would you like to say to the people working behind the scenes at the Animal Care and Control Center, the Humane Society, SPCA, and all these other organizations?
Well, I will say a huge thank you to the Wood Buffalo Fire Department, Bylaw Services, because I know they did a lot to extract her from our home, and I know they've done a lot just in general with keeping the city safe, stopping those fires. So a massive, massive thank you to them, and to the Alberta SPCA for caring for her, making sure she was fed, watered, and just bringing her home to us. That's nothing short of amazing that all these animals were brought home to Edmonton now, which I guess is our home.
Yeah. Well, Melissa, thank you so much for sharing your story with us. Before we go, here is your on-the-go calendar. All right, we are just wrapping up here at the Animal Care and Control Center, but if you're looking for more information about this organization, the pets that they're caring for, or how to get involved and volunteer yourself, head to edmonton.ca/pets. I've been your host, Dana Giesbrecht. We'll see you next time.